Fascinating, right? I'm joined now by South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham, and he's been deeply involved in this Benghazi investigation since the beginning. He is on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator Graham, good to have you here today. Welcome. You know, so that was one of the most interesting parts of yesterday's testimony, that Al-Qaeda was removed because apparently it was classified. And also the reference to Islamic was also removed. It seems to me, when you know what happened on the ground there, which we know so much more about now, those were essential in terms of the intelligence that had been gathered before those notes were written.
Right. Well, here's the point we're trying to make, that the original talking points got it right. Al-Qaeda involvement, Islamic extremists attacked our consulate. It was a terrorist attack. By the time Mike Morrell got through with the document, Al-Qaeda was deleted. Extremist stood without Islamist, and a demonstration was mentioned, and there's no evidence on the ground from people who lived through the Benghazi attack. State Department or CIA folks were telling headquarters in Washington there was no protest. Quit saying this. So the big deal here is that the original talking points were altered in a way to create a false story about what happened in Benghazi, supportive to the political ambitions of the president 7 weeks before an election. And for us to believe that Mike Morrell overrode all the information coming from his people on the ground and relied on an analyst who came up with a story beneficial to the White House by accident is just insulting to everyone's intelligence.
Yeah. You know, you and I have talked about this other meeting that took place. We've talked about a couple of times, and it was after Susan Rice's Sunday appearances, and then there was a lot of scuttle that happened after that, people very upset about the way she presented the whole story. So she went up to Capitol Hill to talk to you, to talk to Senator McCain, and to talk to Senator Kelly Ayotte to kind of explain what had happened. And Mike Morrell came with her, and you all had an interesting exchange that day about who changed these talking points. Here's what he said about that, and then I want to get your reaction.
Okay.
They called the FBI, and the FBI protested very vigorously.
So nobody from the FBI ever called me to complain. I didn't wait until I heard that the FBI was upset before I corrected the record. I corrected the record as soon as I found out. How many people in this town do that?
So he had told you that the FBI changed the talking points in that meeting, correct?
Well, number one, Susan Rice asked to meet with the three of us. She invited Morrell. We didn't invite Morrell. And his job there was to convince us that Susan Rice's story on 16 September was the best evidence available. No evidence of an Al-Qaeda attack, a protest caused by a hateful video. We now know that was not the best evidence available. That was a manufactured story. I asked him point blank, do you know who changed the talking points? This is in November 2012. He answers that he believed the FBI took out all references to Al-Qaeda. He got us onto the Al-Qaeda deletion, and he told us the FBI deleted the references to Al-Qaeda because they did not want to compromise the ongoing investigation. We found that to be very strange. Senator McCain also asked Mr. Morrell, why didn't the CIA call the FBI agents who were interviewing the survivors of the attack in Germany on the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th of September? He told Senator McCain the the CIA tried to call the FBI. They would not give the information because it was an criminal investigation. I contacted the FBI about both statements. They denied that they required Al-Qaeda to be taken out of the talking points, and they denied that their agents refused to talk to the CIA about what the survivors had told them. For Mr. Morrell to have corrected the record, he should have told us, I was intimately involved with changing the talking points. Here's why I changed them. And he never said he was involved at all. He took us down the Al-Qaeda road, and he misled us by not being honest with us about who changed the talking points. This is a guy that if you don't ask the absolute right question, he will mislead you. He sat silently 2 weeks before in a hearing in the House Intel Committee where Director of National Security Clapper said, I don't know who changed the talking points. We don't know. Mike Morrell was sitting right by him, and he never uttered a word by saying, sir, I changed some of the talking points.
He said yesterday that he wished that he had spoken up at that moment. Senator, we're out of time. We've got all this breaking news today. We've got to leave it there. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
We are learning more about